April the 26th, 2022. The time is 6:30 p.m. My name is Speaker William Lowe, and I call this meeting to order. At this time, I would like to ask Patrick Freeman Jr. to say our invocation, please. Amen. Mado Representative Freeman. Roll call, National Council Secretary Alicia Strobel.
Speaker William Lowe.
Here.
Galen Cloud.
Here.
Mary Crawford.
Present.
Joyce Steer.
Present.
Patrick Freeman.
Here.
Sandra Golden. Leonard Gouge.
Here.
Nelson Harjo.
Here.
Joseph Hicks.
Here.
Randall Hicks.
Present.
Robert Huft.
Present.
Anna Marshall.
Present.
Charles McHenry.
Here.
Thomasine Yola Osborne.
Present.
Darrell Proctor.
Here.
Mark Randolph.
Present.
Speaker, you have 16 present, 0 absent.
16 present, 0 absent. That constitutes a quorum. Any business transacted will be valid. Next item on the agenda, Speaker's Report. Speaker's Report for April 26th, or the month of April, the month of activity. On Friday, April the 12th, I attended Native American Student Day at the Oklahoma City Thunder Arena, Paycom Center, I'm guessing it's called now. Tuesday, April the 5th, myself and several other council representatives attended Bacone College USDA meeting. They gave a great presentation and showed opportunities and scholarships that our students can take advantage of with USDA. Tuesday, April the 5th, we also had an emergency session. That same day, we had an Internal Affairs Committee meeting afterwards. Thursday, April 7th to Sunday, April the 10th, myself and other council representatives went to the Oxford, Alabama trip. Monday, April 11th, I attended the Okmulgee Indian Community meeting with fellow Okmulgee Representative Nelson Harjo Sr. Tuesday, April the 12th, there was an investment committee meeting. Wednesday, April 13th, I met in the chief's office about an ARPA project. Also attended a tourism project meeting that's forthcoming. And we had a huge committee meeting that afternoon. Thursday, April 14th, we had an emergency session at 10 a.m. And then myself and several other council representatives attended the Community Resource Fair at Reintegration in Henrietta. Tuesday, April 19th, I attended a cost of living meeting and strategy meeting in Chief Hill's office. Wednesday, April the 20th, we had the Doctor's Day celebration dinner at River Spirit. Myself and several other council representatives attended that and celebrated our doctors within our health system. Tuesday, April 21, I attended a meeting with the Okmulgee National Park Service in Chief's office. We had the BF&J committee meeting that afternoon. Last Friday, April 22nd, we had the College of Muskogee Nation graduation. That evening, we had the Muskogee Art Market reception at River Spirit. Monday, April the 25th, yesterday, myself and 7 other council representatives played in the Make-A-Wish golf tournament at the Oaks Country Club for a great cause. Last night, I attended the Twin Hills community meeting and updated them on all council issues. That concludes my speaker's report. Next on the agenda, the second speaker report. Second speaker, Robert Huff.
Yes, Speaker. I attended the Glenpoe Indian Community meeting this past month. I also attended the banquet honoring the Muskogee Nation, Cree Nation physicians. Also attended the Muskogee art reception. Thank you.
Mado, second speaker. At this time, we move on down to the ex officio reports. Our first ex officio report, GOAB Representative Randall Hicks.
Thank you, Speaker. MNGE met on April 6th, had a regular meeting, special meeting on April 13th, and regular meeting April 20th. Financials have been submitted to the full council. Distributions, they're still doing excellent. Some have been record numbers. Staff, the new administration building has been completed. Staff has been in the new building in the last 2 or 3 weeks, so they were having some water issues or concerns with the city, but that all got rectified and got approved, and they've been in there the last 2 or 3 weeks and really, really appreciate it. Other projects still in progress is the Muskogee parking lot area and youth Their next scheduled meeting is May 4th, 2022, 6 p.m. That's my report. Thank you, sir.
Mado, Representative Hicks. And I will stand corrected that I did mention GOAB and it's MNGE. So Mado, Representative Hicks, for clarifying that, sir. Next item on the agenda, MNB Board Representative Sandra Golden.
Thank you, Speaker. MNBE had a meeting April the 14th, and because of electrical problems, I was unable to attend, but they were discussing the possibility of the transition of One Fire to MNB, so that's still under discussion. The next meeting, regular schedule meeting, is April the 28th, and I will be attending that. They did submit their quarterly report, and they gave a presentation to the BF&J meeting. And that's all I have, Speaker. Thank you.
Mado, Representative Golden. Next item, College of Muskogee Nation Board of Regents Representative Anna Marshall.
Thank you, Speaker. Many of the council representatives, as well as other elected officials, attended the graduation ceremony that was held on April the 22nd at 10 a.m. The college continues to seek funding, and they have applied for a regular grant for recruitment, retention, and to increase their graduation rates. And they've also applied for another grant for rural health and safety education grant programs. And that's basically the utilization of distance learning strategies for education and training in native rural communities that's related to substance abuse, prevention, and mental health issues, and increasing students' knowledge of accessing health care. And that also calls for a part-time licensed professional counselor. And also on the earlier funding that I mentioned, it'll also have a recruiter that will be going out and recruiting students. They're also continuing the planning of the language symposium. And the next meeting date is May the 9th at 5:30 p.m. in room 104. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Marshall. Next item, Muskogee Loan Fund Representative Mark Randolph.
Hello, Speaker. Muskogee Loan Fund met on April 18th, 4 o'clock, and then they came in to do a presentation for BF&J, and they gave a full report then. Thank you.
Mado, Representative Randolph. Last item on the ex officio reports, One Fire Board Representative Patrick Freeman Jr.
Bill Speaker, One Fire meets weekly on Tuesdays. The people associated with One Fire now, since the board doesn't exist, is Debbie Severson with One Fire and the Secretary of State, Jess Five. Right now, they're just discussing their financials and auditing, and just discussion about their tenant issues at Riverwalk. That's my report. Thank you.
Mado, Representative Freeman. Next item on the agenda, committee reports and announcements. Health, Education, and Welfare, Chairperson, Representative Joyce Deere.
Mado, Speaker. The Health, Education, and Welfare Committee met on April 13th, and the following pieces of legislation came out with a due pass. TR 22-057, 058, 059, and NCA 22-035, 036, 037, 047. And we have items for consideration. The HEW LNC Joint Committees met tonight at 6 p.m. before the planning session. And the following items came out of committee with the due pass. TR 22-076 and NCA 22-051. Our scheduled committee dates for May is May 11th, 2022 at 2 o'clock p.m. and we have no other announcements. Mado, Speaker.
Mado, Representative Deers. Those items that came out of committee this evening will be placed on the agenda in numerical order. Next item on the agenda, Land, Natural Resources, and Cultural Preservation, Chairman Darrell Proctor.
Thank you, Speaker. The LNC Committee met on April 12th, 2022, and had a committee with a due pass. We had TR 22-060, 061, 062, 064, 065, 066, and NCA 22-038. And prior to planning session this evening, BF&J and LNC had a joint committee and had a committee with a due pass NCA 22-045. Our next scheduled committee date is May 10th, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. No other announcements. Thank you.
No, Representative Proctor, the item in the joint committee will be placed on the agenda in numerical order. Next item on the agenda, Business, Finance, and Justice, Chairperson Thomasine Yohola Osborne.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker Lowe, the BF&J Committee met Thursday, April 21st, 2022 at 3 p.m. The following legislation came out of committee with a due pass. NCR 22-008, TR 22-071, 072, 074, NCA 22-042, 043, 044, 046, 049, and 052. Referred legislation, we have 3. NCA 22-037, referred from the HEW Committee, as well as NCA 22-047. The third one is NCA 22-038, which is referred from the LNC Committee. We have no items for consideration. Our next scheduled committee date is Thursday, May the 12th, 2022 at 3 p.m. And Speaker, I have no other announcements at this time.
Mutto, Representative Yohola Osborne. That concludes our committee reports. Next item on the agenda, other business. Council, do we have any other business? Mr. Terry, are you online right now?
I am, Speaker.
Thank you, sir. This afternoon or this morning, I did send the council a request asking for Mr. Terry to give us a presentation. I did forward the presentation to everyone. So, Mr. Terry, if you wouldn't mind, the floor is yours, sir, and we'll listen to your presentation, please.
Speaker, just I don't know that we are exactly ready for this information to be released to the public. Would it be appropriate to go into executive session for this?
Yes, sir. Do I have a motion to go into executive session? Motion made by Second Speaker Robert Huft, seconded by Representative Charles McHenry. Any discussion? No discussion. Voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Hearing none opposed, we are in executive session at 6:58 p.m.
Thank you, Speaker.
Hold on one second, Mr. Terry. One item I will mention in other business, we will need to amend the session schedule, and I believe that will be on our Saturday agenda. The festival is on our Saturday meeting date, so we will need to move that to the previous Saturday. So we'll discuss that on Saturday. Do we have any other business, council representatives?
Speaker?
Yes, Representative Freeman.
I'd like a motion to suspend the rules and procedures at section 116F to pull NCR 22-009 from committee to be placed on the agenda and meet as a committee as a whole.
Representative Freeman made a motion to suspend the rules and procedures at section 116F to pull NCR 22-009 from committee to be placed on the agenda and meet as a committee as a whole. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Representative Joseph Hicks. Discussion. Do we have any discussion? This requires a 2/3 vote of the National Council that are present. Hearing no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Patrick Freeman,
Yes.
Sandra Golden, Leonard Gouge,
Yes.
Nelson Harjo,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Randall Hicks,
No.
Robert Huft,
No.
Anna Marshall,
Yes.
Charles McHenry, Thomasine Yohola Osborne,
No.
Darrell Proctor,
Yes.
Mark Randolph,
No.
Galen Cloud, Galen Cloud,
Yes.
Mary Crawford,
Yes.
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 Joyce Deere.
Yes.
Speaker, you have 11 in favor, 4 against.
11 in favor, 4 against. That is it did receive the 2/3 vote. We are now in committee as a whole to address NCR 22-009.
Speaker, I'd like to make a motion for due pass for NCR 22-009.
Let me read the title first, Representative Freeman. They will. NCR 22-009, a resolution of the Muskogee Creek National Council confirming Rita E. Courtwright to serve on the Muskogee Media Editorial Board.
Speaker, I'd like to make a motion for due pass for NCR 22-009.
Representative Patrick Freeman makes a motion for due pass. Seconded by Representative Joseph Hicks. Discussion. Do you have any discussion?
Thank you, Speaker. I'd like to give some time for Ms. Courtwright to come down to kind of give us why she wants to serve on the media board.
Yes, sir. Ms. Courtwright, can you ensure that button's pushed on the microphone, please?
It's green.
All right, outstanding. And the floor is yours. Thank you.
Meadow, thank you for nominating me to be on the Muskogee Media Board. My name is Rita Courtwright. I don't know if I know all of the new council reps, but it's a pleasure to meet you all. I have over 25 years in journalism and tribal communications experience. I come to you all with a master's degree in communications and Native American studies from Northeastern State University. I also teach at the College of the Muskogee Nation as current as an adjunct. I teach speech and public relations. I welcome at this time any questions you might have of me in regards to the ability to sit on the Muskogee Media Board.
Thank you, Ms. Courtwright. Do we have any questions from the National Council representatives?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Representative Golden.
Are you currently on a board you're not currently on any boards?
No, ma'am.
You're just a teacher at our college, and when did you start there?
I have been teaching at the College of Muskogee Nation for 10 years. Yes, ma'am.
So why is it that you feel like you can make a contribution to the Muskogee Media Board?
Absolutely. I worked with Muskogee Media. I had the pleasure of working with Muskogee Media for 2 years. And I just have a passion for working for my tribe and utilizing my education to help work for my tribe. Without the Muskogee Creek Nation, I would not have been able to obtain the degree that I have. I'm very thankful for higher education and have always wanted to be able to repay that by offering my assistance wherever I could within the tribe. I unfortunately don't have the blood quantum to run for council, so I wouldn't do that anyway, but I am, again, excited about the opportunity to give back and sit as a board member with the Muskogee Media. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, Representative Golden.
Okay. Also, you worked there at the Muskogee Media. And so as a board member, do you feel like, or how do you see that you would not have a conflict of interest there?
I resigned from Muskogee Media, and I don't feel like, I think that a lot of things have changed since the time that I've been there, and I don't have any reason to have any kind of conflict of interest with any of the employees there. Again, I really enjoyed working with Muskogee Media.
You did a lot of good work. I saw some of the stuff that you did, especially with starting the Muskogee business for selling things, retail.
The Muskogee Market, yes, ma'am.
Muskogee Market. I'm
yes.
sorry, I couldn't figure what that
It's
was.
okay.
But you did that within the 2 years that you were there.
Yes, ma'am.
So what contributions do you think you will be making as a board member?
I think just making sure that there's fair and accurate and clear reporting offered through Muskogee Media and through the newspaper. That's the main thing that you always want to have as a board member, and especially one with journalism background, is that you have fair reporting and that things are not slanted, media is not slanted. I think that the ability for the Muskogee Media newspaper to continue to be award-winning is out there. It's there's a lot of opportunities open. There's not a lot of tribal newspapers out there that offer that free press like we have at this time. So that's an exciting thought to me.
Thank you, ma'am. You're welcome, Representative Golden. Any other questions? Representative Randolph, please.
Thank you, Chairman. I was just wondering if the full council had time to read what Mr. Haskins sent to us today.
Oh, by all means, yes, sir.
Did everybody, was everybody able to read that?
Oh, did everyone have an opportunity to read the opinion from our general counsel, Kyle Haskins? Everyone had the opportunity. Kyle, would you like to elaborate on any of it by any means, counsel? Is everybody good to go with it? Do you want to hear anything from Kyle? Well, Representative Randolph, at your pleasure, if you'd like, sir.
I think if everybody's read it, I think it's okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
We're good. We're good. Thank you, Kyle. Any other comments, questions, council representatives? Any other comments or questions? Yes, Representative Yohola Osborne.
Thank you, Speaker. I just want to make a comment. Being on the fact-finding committee last session, I had access to records, and I just don't feel at this time that I can support. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Yohola Osborne. Representative Gouge.
Yes, thank you, Speaker.
Yes, sir.
My understanding, this position is for somebody with a legal background. Am I correct in saying that?
Well, knowledge of the law, sir, and I can ask Kyle to elaborate on that. He did mention that in his opinion. So, Kyle, can you please?
With regard to that one particular issue, that is something that I'm going to, respectfully urge the National Council to address someday as to whether they really want that provision in there. You really do not want a layperson who thinks they know the law to be giving legal advice to a board. One, we just assimilated or created a supplementation of our laws, and that would include Oklahoma laws. And in Oklahoma, it is a misdemeanor. It's a crime to give legal advice to practice law without a license. So you really do not want a layperson giving legal advice to a board. And it's unethical. It's unethical in the context of you can't be giving advice to someone and then be sitting on that board and voting. And the same thing would apply to an attorney. If we want an attorney to have that position, we should clearly say so. But it is problematic. If you have an attorney who's giving, again, legal advice to the board, they should not vote. If the board needs a legal opinion, it should outsource that. It should hire a private attorney, give them whatever issues they wish to be resolved and get a private opinion, or alternatively go through the Attorney General's office and send them a request for legal services and get an answer. So that's just the problem with having that requirement in there. Someone who's been practicing law for 34 years, sometimes the most difficult people I've ever met with are people who did not go to law school, but feel like they know all the answers. And frequently the answers they give are incorrect.
Thank you, Kyle. Representative Gouge, does that answer your question, sir?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Mado, Kyle. Any other comments, questions from the council representatives? Yes, Representative Hicks. We'll get you.
Thank you, Speaker. Mr. Courtwright, I just want to explain why I voted no earlier.
Yes, ma'am.
Because of the letter that was submitted to us.
Can you speak into your mic, please, sir?
Thank you. The letter that was submitted to us, some of the qualifications. I just felt like that criteria needs to be revamped before we go back or before we go any further. That's why I didn't want to move forward on it now. So I just want to explain that to you. I don't know. That's why, because it does say tribal law. And you have tribal law.
I have taken law classes in regards to journalism and ethics, yes, but for my undergraduate and my graduate degree. But as far as more than that, I can't say that I do. Sorry, but reading the policy, reading the Muskogee Media Resolution here, it does say that one person does have to have some tribal law, but it doesn't state which Muskogee board member has to have that.
Do you know if any does?
I would hope that maybe the board president, Rebecca Lansbury, just because she sits as a CEO for the Native American Journalism Association, but I unfortunately don't know her educational background.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thanks, Speaker.
You're welcome, sir. Representative Marshall.
Well, Representative Hicks sort of asked the question that I was going to, but I was just going to say, what is the makeup of the media board? Is there an attorney on there? Is there one person that's fulfilled all of these, or are we still looking for someone that has a legal background?
That I couldn't tell you. I don't know any current board members' backgrounds or education. Representative Randolph.
Mr. Torbett was in that position, and he was a lawyer. But he's not on there now.
Okay, so Representative Randolph, basically we're filling another law person with what Mr. Corbett was.
Well, I would urge to go back to what our general counsel said. I don't know if it specifically says one has to be an attorney, but to just have knowledge of tribal law. So I think we're getting caught in that quandary there. Kyle, do you have anything? Is that good enough for you, Representative Marshall? Or we can hear from Kyle.
Just want to mention, I spoke to Mr. Torbett about this very conflict issue with regard to giving legal advice and the problem that creates. And he expressed that it kind of consistently created a problem for him, and that he had to be very, very careful that when questions were asked, he was not giving legal advice. And I think that kind of goes back to, you're at a disadvantage if you're a lawyer sitting on that board, because you're walking an ethical dilemma. And if you cross over a boundary, you're going to lose your license. You're going to get disbarred. And with regard to, if you're not a lawyer, then how do you develop, I think the description is a background in tribal law. How do you do that except for just an experience? You know, it's working for the nation for a long period of time, or some other tribal entity that's similar to our own nation, so you can develop those understandings. I think anybody, including all of you, and not going to law school, you still would be surprised how much tribal law you know just by virtue of the fact that you've been around for a long time. And that's how you develop that experience, is just being there. So outside, if you want a lawyer on there, you need to clearly say so. But it is very, very problematic to have a lawyer sitting on that board, just as Mr. Torbett expressed to me. And again, as a layperson, you don't want a layperson on there that has legal knowledge that's giving advice, because that's disastrous.
Thank you, Kyle. Representative Joyce Deere. I'll get you.
Mr. Haskins, who should fix this then? Is it up to the board, or is it who should fix that wording in there about?
I think it would be up to the National Council to revise that description to alleviate that one provision. From a lawyer standpoint, it's my job to just point out ethically it's really a problem to have that requirement in there. But again, it comes back to, if there is a legitimate basis for having that requirement in there, I'm not sure really what that is. The only way you're ever going to get that, unless you've gone to law school, is just experience. It's just having worked for the tribe or worked for some other tribe. And you'll pick things up just as experience in journalism. And I think you really have to rely upon how long someone has been doing what they are seeking to oversee.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Kyle. Representative Harjo, please.
Yes, you keep saying that, that's an issue without having any tribal law background. And so exactly where would that put, should this a person be selected and all of a sudden they're caught giving advice and they don't have a license to do so?
It's a crime.
Okay.
So, and that's why, a layperson, the reliance on a layperson to have developed, I'm not sure what they do with that background in tribal law. I'm not really sure what they are expected to do with that, unless it is being able to read the policies and procedures and maybe based on their own experiences, maybe understand the application of those policies and procedures. Maybe that's an advantage to having that background. But otherwise, Representative, I'm at a loss to be able to tell you exactly what that provision in any way helps. I tried to find different ways, and Representative Randolph this last Friday, he sent me these questions, and I really appreciated that. And unfortunately, yesterday, I didn't get the opportunity to work on it. I was out of office, so I spent all day, pounding this out and trying to answer these answers. Or come up with answers. So I put this together. When I found out as we added on, I hit the send button without having a chance to proofread it. So you all got it as quickly as I got it completed.
Yeah, and reading this, legislation and everything, it's talking about it. It requires one member of the Muskogee Media Editorial Board to be selected by the National Council, and whereas the person that we select has to have this. So it's not a question of they could just be any other board member, but it's saying that that's what the criteria is. We have to base it off of them having that tribal law experience, whatever that may be, like you're saying.
Again, I think it comes back to, if you haven't gone to law school, how else do you get that experience or that background in tribal law except by, I'll say, age and having been around and being involved in tribal matters.
Right. Thank you, sir.
And more specifically, experience in that area of which you're being sought to oversee.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle.
Sure.
Representative Joseph Hicks.
Call for vote.
Call for vote has been called. At this time, we have a motion and a second for due pass, NCR 22-009. Roll call vote, please.
Patrick Freeman.
Yes.
Sandra Golden. Leonard Gouge.
No.
Nelson Harjo.
No.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Randall Hicks.
No.
Robert Huft.
No.
Anna Marshall.
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
No.
Thomas Inuhala Osborne.
No.
Darrell Proctor.
Yes.
Mark Randolph.
No.
Galen Cloud.
No.
Mary Crawford.
Yes.
Joyce Deere.
Yes.
Speaker, you have 7 in favor, 8 against.
7 in favor, 8 against. NCR 22-009 fails. At this time, I will accept a motion to come out of committee as a whole.
Make a motion to come out of committee as a whole.
Representative Patrick Freeman has made a motion to come out of committee as a whole.
Second.
Seconded by Representative Joseph Hicks. Any discussion? Hearing none. Voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Same sign. Hearing none opposed, we are at a committee as a whole at this time. Other business. Is there any other business with the National Council? Announcements. Are there any announcements?
Chair.
Yes, Representative Hicks.
Mound Oversight Committee will be having a meeting tomorrow at 1 o'clock via Zoom or in person.
Yes, sir. Mound Oversight tomorrow, 1 p.m., be it Zoom or in person. Hello, Representative Hicks. Adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Representative Joseph Hicks makes a motion to adjourn, seconded by Representative Charles McHenry. Any discussion? Hearing none, voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Hearing none opposed, we are adjourned. At this time, I would like to ask Representative Joseph Hicks to render our benediction, please. Amen. We are adjourned at 7:34 p.m. Get home safe, please.